Hey, it's Danny. Welcome to Anything Goes, and today I am joined by a very special guest who goes by Creation of Adam, better known as Julia, who currently has 48,000 followers and is still growing on TikTok. Today I'm going to be asking her a couple questions about her TikTok, and by the end, you will know all the secrets to becoming TikTok famous. Before we begin, a few quick things. First of all, I do now have an Instagram, which I will link in the description, and a new Twitter. There'll be exclusive updates and shoutouts that will only be posted on Twitter, so you should go follow that when you get the chance. Also, go check out Julia's TikTok, which I'll put in the description, where she posts daily content of her acting. It's really good, by the way. Anyways, Julia, why don't you introduce yourself to the people that don't know who you are?
Hi guys, I'm Julia. I'm also known as Creation of Adam on TikTok, and yeah, that's about it.
All right, let's just get right into it.
Let's do it.
So, to just give people an overview, why don't you tell people why you started, how you started, and where you are now?
Of course. All right, so we're in quarantine, obviously, and there's just not much for me to do, and I've always just wanted to pursue like something in acting. I've always loved acting and obviously TikTok. And one day I literally just went on TikTok and made my own account. I kind of had a bet with my brother to see like who would grow faster, if that makes sense. And I just started posting stuff, and even though it sounds like a success story, it didn't happen overnight. It took continuous posting to get where I am now. And obviously what I do now is I do a lot of acting videos and like storytelling stuff. But I definitely did not start that way, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
To start off, I needed to have sort of a support system of a few followers before I got into what I really wanted to do. So honestly, I started as like a video account where I just made stuff. I made food, I did makeup, and I never really showed my face, my personality, but I just needed to have like that support system of a few followers before I got into what I really wanted to do, which was acting. And once I got, a few, I think it was like 200 followers, I started doing acting videos, and I worked really hard on them, and they sucked. And they got like 8 or 30 likes at most. And if I stopped there when I didn't get any likes or views, I would not have gone anywhere where I am now. So it really took a lot of like pushing through when it was dry to get where I am now.
And how long have you been recording TikToks for?
I have been on my new TikTok right now for about a month and a half. So it really just all happened so quickly.
Like, how quickly did it take you to just like, okay, I'm at 100 followers and now, boom, I'm at 48,000? Does that process happen fairly quickly, and it's just sort of the process between 0 to 100 or 0 to 1,000 that's the struggle?
I think of it as like a snowball effect. Like it's progressively gets a lot bigger until you just realize how big it's gotten. Like it really started super, super slow. I'd get maybe 50 followers a week, and then that grew to 100. And then once I hit 1,000 followers, then it became more of a 1,000 followers a week, which was awesome for me. And it really just took me like one really like viral video, and after that I got like 10K, which was where I really like set off and started to really pursue what I wanted to do, which was acting.
People assume that there's a snowball effect because when you get more followers, there's more people viewing your videos and you get more attention. But what really goes into, okay, now I have 10,000 followers, it's going to go a lot quicker, or I'm going to get more attention quicker? How does that really happen?
There's really like no telling like what's ever going to happen. Like for me, it's never consistent. Like you can never plan on getting 1,000 followers a day or 1,000 followers a week. Like it's never like that. You just have to keep on doing what you're doing, and life happens, things happen. So I never really set on a chart like I'd get 1,000 followers a day. Sometimes I get 1,000 followers a day, and in the past couple of days I've gotten 20,000 followers, and now it's starting to slow down, but it's never a consistent like chart of followers. You just got to keep going and it'll happen.
Yeah. So I like what you were saying before about not getting many views. It's very easy to tell yourself, okay, I'll just keep going. But in the moment, I'm sure there were doubts, even if you can say now that
Of course.
just keep going. But what
Mhm.
really gets you to do that? Like, what really gives you the motivation to keep going?
That was obviously a hard thing for me to overcome, was working super super hard on a video and putting like my heart and soul into something, and
Mm,
sometimes you have expectations that don't actually go through. So sometimes I'd post something and it would take me maybe like an hour to do, which is crazy for like a 15-second video, but it
yeah.
happens. And I'd work really hard on this and I'd be like, this is the one, like, this is gonna happen, like, this is what's going on.
Hmm.
And it didn't actually work out that way. And you can't blame yourself. You just got to keep on working hard. And there have been times, especially in the beginning, where I was like, maybe this is not for me. Like, maybe this is just not something that's going to happen. Maybe it's just for fun.
Yeah.
And I just kind of had to push through and keep on posting. Obviously, if I quit there, I would not have what I have now, which I love to
Yeah.
do. But yeah, it there definitely was points of doubts. I'm not gonna sit here and say like I just knew it was gonna happen, because it's crazy to me. Like, I have still not like processed how
Hmm.
quickly this all happened.
I'm sure.
Um, it was literally 2 days ago that I had 17,000 followers, and now I have 48,000. And every single time I hit refresh, there's more. It makes me happy to know that people are interested and invested in what I have to post, because I love it, and I'm just so happy that there's a big following of people who also appreciate it.
Because you weren't famous on day one, but
Oh, of
obviously
course
the past
not.
2 days you doubled and nearly almost tripled your followers, and I can only imagine what happens in the next week.
Of course, and I can't even imagine like what's going to happen in the next month. Like, for all I know, this could be it for me. This could be Everest. Like,
Yeah, and
this
who
could
knows?
be
Who
it, and
knows?
it could be all downhill from here. But or it could be the total opposite and just continue to multiply. I'll never know, but for right now, I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing. I mean, as you know, like, you know me from school.
Yeah.
I'm just, average, obviously. I'm not famous. I'm like every other kid, and I had something I wanted, and I worked really hard, and it happened for me.
You're totally right. You don't really need to be, Mrs. or Mr. Popular in your school, because
Of course.
that's the whole key, is that you're posting
Hmm.
online. You're not
Of
posting
course.
for your friends, you're posting for other people.
Yeah, and about that, I was definitely 100% not posting for my friends. That was a big part of like a lot of anxiety that I had going into this, because clearly I was embarrassed by this. Because if I wasn't embarrassed and I had all the confidence in the world, I would have been posting all of this on the TikTok that I already had, that
Mm,
had everyone from my school following it. But clearly there was points of insecurity there that I needed to create a whole different account so I could pursue what I really wanted to do. I really did not want anyone following it. And every once in a while, when I had maybe like 2,000 followers, I think a couple people I knew found me on the For You page and would screenshot it and send it to me. And I swear all the color would be like removed from my face. Like,
you'd
my
freak
heart would
out.
skip a beat. Yeah, I was not confident in what I had to offer. I loved what I did, and that's why I kept on doing it. But it's easier to go into something with people you don't know judging you than people you do know. So
So,
for me, I didn't want to go into it and be really cringy, and all the people I know like see that. So as soon as someone I knew followed it, I would like immediately block them. Obviously now, um, I do have a little bit more confidence in myself, and I have unblocked a lot of the people that I did block from my page,
yeah.
thankfully. But that was definitely another thing I had to overcome, was that a lot of people I think struggle with, is just how are people going to react to what I'm doing.
Sure, that's a huge issue for many people, is that even on a YouTube channel, people might be scared of obviously
Of
multiple
course.
things, but it could be the fear of failure, or it could be the fear of other people finding you. People don't really have to find you right away, which is what you proved. Saying 2,000 you had to have
Yeah.
before a single person noticed you.
Yeah. I mean, especially in the very beginning, I didn't post my face because of that reason. I just wanted to build up some followers.
Hmm.
And once I started showing my face, there was a little bit more stress. And at 2,000 followers, I was absolutely sure, like in my mind, like I said this to myself, that I was going to stop when people found me, which is a really difficult thing to go through because I obviously wasn't confident myself. So
Mhm.
I was like, well, when people find me, I'll just like stop. And
Yeah.
obviously, I became more passionate for what I did and I started really liking what I had to offer to the app that I didn't stop, thankfully. It was just motivation for me to just keep on going when people found me. Like, if now that people follow me, it's just more motivation for me to, you know, prove them that I can do something, that I can have followers, and make me think about different people watching and what I can offer to different types of viewers.
Today is May 9th, and obviously we speak of you having 48,000 followers, but this will be posted like a week and a half from now. So I have no clue how many followers you're going to have then. You have 48,000. Would you
Yes, at
consider
the moment,
yourself famous?
I do not consider myself famous. I consider myself with followers, and people are so sweet and kind. And I've even gotten like fan pages and artwork, and
Mm.
it is honestly the sweetest thing in the world. But clearly, I'm still like your average Joe. I'm still your average Julia, but I don't consider myself famous. I'm glad that people are interested in watching it.
Do you think famous is a number? Like, would you say at 100,000 I'm famous, or do you think famous really has a different meaning?
I feel that fame is more of like a loyalty that you have to offer. And I clearly do have that. And I have like an awesome group of people who are just so supportive, like people I don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that fame is more of a loyalty and like a fan base that will continue to grow, and just, people wanting to see what you have to offer. Of course, numbers are involved. Like you can have a loyal 6 people
Yeah.
and you wouldn't be famous, but
Yeah.
it's just, it takes time. And people sticking around, what's going to happen in 2 months?
Mm-hmm.
That viewer could change their mind and be like, you know what? I don't really like this anymore. So that's why numbers isn't really something that makes me feel connected to like fame.
So you were speaking before about the mountain effect where you could go really high or really far down pretty quickly in your
Yep.
follower count. Do you think that people at your stage start getting comfortable? Like, do you think people, or do you think it's easy to start getting comfortable once you have 50,000 and you say, oh, I just had to put a little bit effort in and then I'll slowly gain more and more followers because I already have a follower base? Or do you
Of
still
course.
act like you have 2 followers and you need to put all your effort in?
Oh, of course. I still put 100% of my effort, and I do see it firsthand because when I was more of a smaller, I still am pretty small, but when I
Mm.
was more of a smaller account, I would look up to these people who had a lot more followers than me, and to pass them in followers just proved to me that like anything could happen. Like you just need to keep on putting stuff into it, because I saw these people and I looked up to these people because they had a number, but
Yeah.
it's not about the number. It's about progressively continuing to grow, not just sticking with what you have.
Yeah, because you gained 20,000 followers the past day or two, and I'm sure that there are
Yeah.
people with a million that might
hmm
gain even less in that time period. So,
It's insane and it's unpredictable, but it's so easy, like you said, to get comfortable with
yeah.
what I have right now and be like, you know what? I'm gonna lay back. This is it. Like I'm just gonna start producing quantity over quality, and that's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
Um, I still want to put my best forward. I don't want to, if anything, I want to get so much better. And I've seen firsthand like my growth when
Yeah.
I look like through my past videos. And to think I've literally only been on this account for a month and a half and I've gotten where I am, it is crazy for me. And it just makes me more motivated to grow it if I did it in so little time.
Which
Yeah,
do you expect anything a day? Like, are you upset if you don't get 1,000 in a day or something at this point, or would you be disappointed?
never. I'm honestly, it's unpredictable because some days are slower than others, and you never really know. Like, did I know 2 days ago that? Did I know 3 days ago that I'd be where I am right now? Of course not. It's crazy to me, and I
Mm.
just keep on becoming more humble as I go, and I just never take anything for granted. I just work with what I have. So easy to be like, wow, this was an awful day. I only gained 500 followers. Or you can be like, wow, 500 followers followed me today. It's definitely a half full, half empty kind of thing. You just got to look at it from that standpoint. And some days are slower than others. It just makes me more motivated to just put my best forward. And sometimes I don't have control. I obviously can't force people to follow me. I just got to persuade them, with
Yeah.
my content.
And yeah, you're right. If someone had 5 followers, then if you got 500 in a day from there, you'd be
Of course,
like really excited.
I just keep on thinking back to when I started and what like 100 likes meant to me when I first
Yeah.
started, because it meant a lot. I can even remember my first video that hit 100 likes. My first video that hit 100 likes, I can just remember just like jumping around, be like, this is awesome. So I always have to think of it like me a month and a half ago, looking at where I am right now. Because if I knew that, if someone told me that posting something in quarantine a month and a half ago would get me where I am now, I'd say they were crazy, because you just never know. And I just never expected this to happen.
Yeah. And so, speaking of where you are now, do you have any specific plans to keep growing, or are you just going to keep doing what you're doing? Like, do you want to get, obviously, you always want to get better, but do you have any plans specifically to grow your account?
Always have more plans. One of my big things right now is collabs. So this is a collab, but
Yeah.
also people with more followers than me that like my content. I've gotten DMs from, there's this girl on TikTok who looks very similar to me. Her name's Femme Fairy, and everyone would always tag me
Hmm.
in everyone would always tag her in my videos and be like, "Oh my gosh, you look just like her." And she got tagged so much in my videos that she ended up DMing me, and she has, I think, 150,000 followers now. And she's like, "Let's take advantage of this. Like, let's collab. Like, let's do a duet." So I made a video specifically for her to duet, and she duetted it, and it got, I think, 350,000 likes. So I definitely grew a lot from that. So just, you gotta collab with people you like and who have similar content and followers to you. We gained a lot of followers from that because it got 350,000 likes, but I also gained it because we were both in it, and we have plans to do more stuff together.
I think collabs are a great idea because you're right, you have nothing to lose. You're not collabing with someone with a million followers, but now those two followers will look at each other and say, maybe I should follow this other account. So collabs can never hurt.
Even another thing that I've gained followers from is what I do is a lot of storytelling and acting stuff. So most of my stuff is my own original ideas, and if they're not, I obviously always credit, which is something I can't, it's plagiarism, and I know how it feels for someone to steal my ideas, so I can
Yeah.
never do that to someone else. But another great way to gain followers is make your own story, like make your own thing. And if someone is respectful enough to redo it and credit you, that's awesome, and people will follow you from that. That's the best thing to do when you see other people with a lot more followers using your ideas. It's like, wow, like, this was a great idea and it benefits both of us,
Mm.
and they're respectful enough to tag me.
Do you have like any goals in the future other than the generic goal of like, gaining followers, gaining a fan base? Do you have any specific goals with like counts or follower counts, or are you just saying, I just want to grow?
I live it day by day. One of my goals that I've been thinking about incorporating a lot more recently is just, being an activist for things I believe in, like respect, and especially because I have a lot of younger viewers.
Yeah.
That's something I want to stick to, is just being an activist for doing the right thing, and some of like my views of just loving everyone and being inclusive in everything. So that's another one of my goals as I grow, is to just continue spreading like my values to people who are younger than me, because they look up to me and they tell me and they DM me that they look up to me, which is honestly like the best feeling in the world, to get a message or a comment like, you inspired me to like start acting, or you're just like my idol. Like, I don't think I would be anyone's idol. Like, that's just insane
Yeah,
to
that's a
me.
crazy
I
thought.
just feel like such like a regular person, and to have a group of people looking up to me like that, of course I have to set a good example, and just that's my goal, is to just, I never want to be in any drama or any issues ever. I just want to spread a good example for people and just kind of be that person who inspires like the younger crowd.
Do you
And I'm slowly starting to incorporate that into my videos. Particularly just opening people's eyes to like different points of view, different ideas. That's my main goal. Just be a good example, because I definitely realize I have a lot of younger viewers, and that's awesome to me that they can look up to me, but I want to be a good example.
if you had to predict right now when this was posted, if you would have 100,000 followers because of the way you're growing, which, this is being posted a week and a half after it's being recorded, do you think you'll have 100,000 by then?
It's one of those things, like, you honestly, I can never know. Like, sometimes I grow 1,000 followers a day, and sometimes I grow 20,000, which is insane to me. So there could be a glimpse of something that happens, and for all I know, I can get 100,000 followers. I'll just never know until I get there, and
Mhm.
it'll be interesting to look back on it and see what happens, because I'm totally fine if I stay the same follower count, but I'm just going to keep on doing what I'm doing, and people will like it and some people won't, and those who like it will follow me, and I'm just glad to have what I have now, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And you never know what's going to happen tomorrow, which is honestly crazy for me, because I just love spreading my content and my ideas, because I work really hard on them. So to have recognition of them is honestly the best thing ever.
So it doesn't seem like you get a lot of hate on your posts.
No,
Can you
that's
explain that?
honestly,
Or is that
yeah,
just unexplainable?
I have no idea why, because obviously, if anyone has TikTok, you know that you
Yeah.
go into the comments, there's something bad about everything. No matter what it is, there's
Yeah.
always some sort of hate or something wrong. And I've posted maybe like 70 videos on my page, and I have lots and lots of views on all of them, and I can count the amount of hate comments I've gotten on my hand.
Yeah.
There's maybe been like 3, and even those like haven't been anything
Terrible.
awful. Yeah, my comments and my DMs have just been like the sweetest things, and it just motivates me even more to
Mhm.
see people being like, this is awesome, like I love this, like keep on going. Like that's just been the best for me, and I can't explain like why I haven't gotten hate. I'm not complaining in any way at all, but it just happens. Like, I'm not wishing hate on myself, but I
Yeah.
also have to realize going into this, like, as I grow followers, like that,
It
as I
becomes a
grow
bigger issue.
followers, yeah, as I grow followers and more people are viewing it, more people who don't like it are gonna see it, and I'm just gonna have to. Obviously, I can't be everyone's cup of tea. I'm not everyone's cup of tea,
Mhm.
and I just got to think about it that way and keep an open mind. But I'm so glad that I've gotten the overwhelming like amount of support from my followers, and just so many nice comments that just make it so much easier to post and get things done.
Do you have, and obviously you can't really speak from experience, but do you have any suggestions for people that are just getting hate, maybe? Or maybe have like a very little follower base and just get, those one or two hate comments, and that's what takes over, I feel, is when you get no comments, except those hate comments, it's hard to sort of bounce back from that because you
Of
feel like that's
course,
all you're going to get.
advice is to, you just got to think about what caused you to get into it. Like for me, it was I wanted to tell stories and use my acting and inspire people, I guess. But you just have to, when people give you hate, you have to realize why you got into it in the first place, and if that's not, if that should be a strong enough reason to just push through. For me, it was when, in the back of my mind, always it's people I know. Like, how are people I know going to react to this? I know that I'd be oblivious not to say that people aren't saying stuff about it. And I mean, people I know follow me, and there's people I'm not exactly friends with who follow me. So I don't know if that's because they like my content or because they just want something to laugh at. But for me, I just have to think about why I got into it. And just that pushes me to block all that like, what if they're saying this? What if they're saying that kind of stuff out?
Yeah, because you never know. And that's the key,
You
is you
want,
never know if
yeah.
they're saying good things or bad things, so you can't assume either.
For me, at this point, if people don't like it or if people I know are like laughing at it or making fun of me, like I love what I'm doing. I'm proud of what I'm doing.
Hmm.
So like they can like say whatever they want about it, but it's not going to stop me. Like it's only just going to motivate me. So
With this follower base, which I'm not saying is a lot, but I'm not saying is a little, and you never know where you're going to be, do you have any
of course.
plans outside of TikTok that you want to go with this, or have you not really even thought about that, like bringing it to another social media or creating a like a vlog channel or an acting channel, or do you want to use this almost to help you getting into an acting career, or
Oh,
is
I
this
would love
just
that.
TikTok?
I would love that because this is honestly my passion. This is what I love to do. And I feel like through the years, I have my time. I'm young still, so I have time to figure out what I want. But for right now, like this is my passion. This is what I love to do. A lot of people always ask me if I have a YouTube channel, so that's another path to take. But
Yeah.
honestly, I've seen people get recognized on this by like management and businesses. So if that ever happened to me, that would be incredible. So honestly, it's another one of those things you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I know someone who I'm kind of close with on the app, and she said that she's gotten reached out to by a few management companies, by a few like modeling companies, and that's honestly incredible from like just TikTok. So you can't expect that to happen, but you also have to think about, wow, anything can happen.
Yeah, that's a possibility in the future. And then you
Of
just
course.
turned TikTok into your lifelong dream or whatever.
Of course, it could happen for anyone. You just got to take advantage of it. For me, for the longest time, something's always held me back. I've
Mhm.
always wanted to do it, but something's always held me back. So it's quarantine. So I'm like, if not now, then when, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that I did. And that just honestly proves to anyone who is in the same situation as me, who has something to offer or has a passion, to just share it. Because if nothing happens, at least you know, like, at least you know you tried and it didn't work out. And that could have so easily happened for me. And I could have so easily given up when I had 8 likes on something I worked an hour on, but it didn't stop me because with that hour, like I loved what I was doing and I loved what I had to offer. And I always put my best foot forward. And if it doesn't work out, at least I knew that I tried.
Yeah, and really, if you are listening to this during quarantine, whether you're quarantined or not, which I'm assuming most of you are, you have to take advantage of this time. Because if you have anything you want to do, unless it's in person, which that's unfortunate, but try to think of something, some hobby you never really wanted to do, but you have plenty of time now to do it. So you're right. This is a
Exactly.
great time to start that, and maybe you will
This,
end up getting a follower
mhm.
base, or whether it's a sport you want to play or something like that, just go for it.
This is the perfect time for everyone to just really push through that thing that's been holding them back. And it's, you see people like cutting bangs or shaving their head. That's kind of like my version of cutting bangs, is
Yeah.
going out there and putting my all into this. And if it was the biggest mistake and everyone made fun of it, or my metaphorical bangs, no one's
Mm.
going to see me all summer or until I go back to school. So
Before we were speaking, on the bigger things that you could possibly take a follower base to, such as YouTube or even bigger than that. But do you
mhm.
have anything going on for you now? Like, do you have anything you want people to know about now? Or maybe do you
at,
go live at times? Do you
at the
do other
moment,
things?
yes. I do go live on my account, which is awesome, and I get a lot of love from that. I really like going live. Sometimes I sing, sometimes I like to sit there and
Mm-hmm.
answer questions, but I just love really getting to know the people who follow me, and like it just makes me happy that I make them happy, and I get so much positivity. And even when I like respond to DMs, like people are like, "Oh my god, like I'm so glad you respond." Like people usually don't respond, but I just really try to do my best because I'm so glad like that I have people who follow me and enjoy my content, that of course like I want to like personally talk to them and just do
Get to know
whatever I
them.
can to make them happy. You want to be known for like being that positive person who like reaches out and responds to comments rather than the opposite, because that being known online for being like a nice person and being genuine is so much better. Because honestly, I could right now just totally change my personality and be like, oh my gosh, like I have some followers on TikTok, like nothing else matters, like I'm the
Yeah.
coolest person ever, which no one should ever do because it's really it's just like a thing. It's not, you can't buy anything with it unless you make money from it, but it's something there that I love to, it's like my platform, but on the other hand, I never want to like get out of hand and try to like be cocky about anything because I shouldn't.
And this sort of goes with what you were just saying. And I know it's a little bit personal if you don't want to answer it. Are you thinking about money at all?
Not really. I mean, it's crazy that people like send me money on my lives. I think I've made like $40, but
Yeah.
honestly, like sponsorships are a big deal, but it's not for me, it's not anything to do with money because I
Yeah.
never thought I'd be here. It's truly about what I'm passionate about. And I really love what I do. So honestly, before you brought that up, I never even thought about money
Yeah.
ever. So I'm really just putting my best forward, and it's really not about me, it's about the viewer. And I try to, put content out that is entertaining.
Yeah. And I think this is sort of an idea of what you just went over is that if you go into creating a social media with the idea of making money, then it might
Hmm.
seem more unachievable. But if you go in with the
Yeah,
idea of, okay, you know what? I want to try to get 10 followers by the end of the month, which might seem
of
really
course.
small, but don't go into it assuming you're going to make money or saying,
Of
okay,
course
once I
not.
get big, I want to make money.
If your motivation is money, I don't think that's a good enough motivation to push you through all the obstacles. I think you need passion, you need commitment. You can't just be in it for the money, or else there's no reason to keep going. Once you go like a month without making any money and your motivation is money, there's really nothing left pushing you.
Yeah, if you don't love what you're doing and
Hmm.
you're doing it for money, you're not making money. What are you doing it for? You're right.
Exactly.
Do you have any, and obviously we spoke about future plans like far in the future, but do you
Hmm.
have people that you're talking to or collabs that you're planning on making? Or
Yeah, I'm
is
actually in a, what I started doing like about a few weeks ago is I was scouted out by more of like a collab account,
yeah.
and so they kind of reached out to me saying they liked my content, and they obviously had a lot more followers than I did. And I was like, perfect, wonderful, I love this. And we made a TikTok account, and we all started posting like our own acting videos.
Hmm.
And this is where I get a little bit sad because I posted something on the collab account and it got a whopping 1.2 million views, which is crazy to me. And the POV account, the collab account, got like 10,000 follows. And I was like, oh my gosh, I should have posted that on my own account. But, it's one of those things that
You can't control.
you can't control, because you can never control, because I probably wouldn't have ever posted it on my real account because I wasn't confident in it.
Yeah.
But who knew? Like that was the most popular video I ever posted, but it wasn't on my own account. So
Yeah. I-
that's always been something a little bit stressful. My brother makes fun of me for it, but you just it is what it is.
And how many followers does this account have?
This account now has 12,000 followers, which is insane because it has like 7 videos on it, but
Oh, really?
it's
So one account with 12,000 followers, like when you posted that video, did it have 12,000, would you say, or
no,
somewhere
it
near
did
that?
not. It had like 100 followers before I posted on it, and then
Really?
yeah, so that's a little bit upsetting for me. Nothing against this collab account, but my true passion is always in my own account.
Yeah.
But
And
I love this account too, but it's just one of those things that like you wish you could have done differently a little bit.
and this goes back to everything we've been talking about this entire time about, having 100 followers.
Hmm.
You never know. You might gain 10,000 the next
Yeah,
day.
you truly never know, because this account literally had 100 followers and I posted something on it and it got 1.2 million views. The TikTok algorithm is unpredictable. You really never, ever, ever know. And that's just something I'll have to carry on with me. I'm super proud and I loved the video I posted. I'm super proud of myself that it got so much love. So honestly, I sound like I'm upset, but I'm it got an overwhelming amount of comments and love and support, and I truly love that video. So
Yeah.
it's still mine. It's still tagged to my account. So I obviously did get followers from it, but I still love the video, and it's, once again, it's not about the followers, it's about my passion. So
How would you, and this might be a little bit of a difficult question because this has sort of been what you're answering the entire time, but if you had to sum up the question that people are really, that they may be watching through this entire thing for, how do you get famous on any social media?
what's the secret?
Over. Yeah, what's the secret?
Okay, so honestly, it's crazy to me that this happened. If I knew the secret a while back, I would have used it. But for me, it was pushing through when you got 30 views.
Yeah.
It was pushing through that low point and being at what you felt was rock bottom, which was spending an hour on a video and getting 30 likes on it, which, no, 30 or 8 likes. It wavered between, there was 2 videos, one got 30, one got 8 likes, but it was pushing through, working so hard on something and gaining so little that made me grow to where I am, because I could have so quickly been like, wow, like this is the worst, like the odds are not in my favor. I worked so hard on this. It'll never work out for me. But I was like, you know what? I loved doing what I did. I'm proud of that video. And you really never know. And I just kept on trying and pushing through. And the way I describe it, it sounds like it's been a very long time, but it's been a month and a half.
Yeah. I would honestly have to totally agree with you because
that's where a lot of people stop.
Yeah. And the thing is that a lot of people stop there, and it's also where everyone starts. That people need to understand that everyone goes through that, unless you're like 1 in a million and you luck out and you have some really secret hidden talent. But not many people have that. So what people do have is time. And I think you're totally right about that.
I didn't start with a bunch of followers. I had to push through a lot of the back of my mind thoughts of being like, this isn't going to happen. Like, just stop. Like, it's a waste of time. But it wasn't about the followers. It was about, I really like doing this. This is something I wanted to do for a long time, and I'm finally here. So let's take advantage of it. And if you keep on posting, you got to get somewhere, hopefully. But that's what I really tried to do, was just, maybe if I continue to post, the odds will be a lot higher. You can have 30 videos in one day and none of them are like very good or put a lot of time in. That's really not going to work out for most people.
Yeah, and if you have time to make 30 videos in a day, even though it may seem frustrating and it may make no sense to you, you can use that time to make 1 video or 2 videos even.
Yeah, for me, I just really take a few hours out of my day, usually at night, to post some videos, and I work hard on them. And sometimes I work on a video and it takes me a long time, and I look back on it and I was like, wow, this is not my best. I'm not going to post this. And sometimes it happens, and I just really try to put my best. And if it doesn't work out, like sometimes a video gets 300,000 likes and sometimes a video gets 1,000. It just, you never really know. And when I get 1,000 likes, that's honestly crazy for me too. Like it's not like a low point for me. I'm like, wow, like this video got 1,000 likes. That's insane. And sometimes a video gets 300,000 likes, which is also insane.
And obviously I can't speak from personal experience, but I can imagine it's easy to get caught up in the fact that you have so many followers, and that you need to remember that 1,000 likes is 1,000 individual people watching your video.
That's always what I think about. It is always what I think about. It's like, wow, 1,000 people just enjoyed what I put out there. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's like a whole school of people, which is crazy. And not only that, it's just the overwhelming amount of support and love that I've been getting. I don't know if I said this before, but people have sent me like art, which is honestly makes me so incredibly happy that people would send me like art of me and take the time out of their day to draw me, like out of all people. Like, that makes me so happy. And people make edits of me and like fan pages. I have 2 fan pages. Like, to think like I'm just your average Julia and I have 2 fan pages, and they could have done anyone and they chose me. Like, just so makes me so happy and motivates me even more. Like, wow, there's really people out here who really enjoy my stuff.
Have any other thoughts or ideas or things you want to tell people?
Honestly, if you have something to put out there, like now's your time. Like you never want to grow up and look back on something and be like, wow, damn, I should have done that. Like I had all the time to do this and I didn't do it. You don't want to, you want to, my advice is you'd rather fail at something than look back on it and never know. Like you don't want to look back at something and think of everything it could have been. You'd rather try it and fail. And if you do fail, at least you tried. Like you put your best foot forward, and sometimes things don't work out, and that's totally fine. Even this talking to you makes me realize like how crazy it is of what I have.
Yeah.
And to some people it could seem like an extreme amount, and to others it could seem like a grain of sand. But to me it's means so much more because it's not something I just am like joked around about and got like a bunch of follows. It's something like I worked hard on and I'm passionate about, and to see that pay off, it's honestly like the best reward.
If you're still watching this, you really should honestly go to the description and check out Julia's account because it really is really good. And I
Thank
think,
you.
I think it's just that you did start a month and a half ago. And that's not to say you have a huge backstory or some like,
Yeah.
I was a Broadway actor and now I'm on TikTok. That you
Yeah.
can start from anywhere. And that's what you keep
That's
bringing
another
out.
thing. That's a great point because a lot of people have been reaching out to me recently and was like, wow, I never knew this about you. Like I never knew like this was something you were passionate about or this is something you were good at. And that makes me super happy too because that's something that a lot of people don't know about me is that I'm really, really interested in acting and performance. And that's something I really love to do. And the fact that I get to do that and people are supportive of that's crazy.
Well, I think I'm going to end it there. I'm going to tell everyone one more time. You should definitely check it out. You should check out the TikTok. It's in the description. It was a pleasure having you on the podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to talk to you.
I hope everyone enjoyed. And see you guys in the next one.
Bye, guys.